in that garage. Everyone turned them down after that, except for one person. This is in the movie about him, by the way, if you want to really see how tough it was going at first. And it just took one person, one yes, one person to give him money so he could build these and sell them to the first store. Now, isn't that terrific? Let's talk about Amazon. The guy that starts Amazon calls me up because of that book, Forget the Gas Pumps, Make Your Own Fuel, plus others that I had on running cars on alternative fuel that I published. He calls me up. I didn't know, never heard of Amazon books before. And uh, he said, do you still have, he named about four books available? And I said, sure. He said, well, I'm from Amazon Books and I'd like to order some. And I said, what country are you calling from? This is true. What country you calling from? Amazon. And then he explains to me. He explains to me that he's starting a online bookstore, putting the books that he could get from people like me in the trunk after packing them and shipping them out, taking them to the post office. That's how he started. I had no idea, or I would have bought his stock back then instead of now. I started buying his stock now in this company. But back then you could have, it wasn't available for several years, and then he got things rolling. He wasn't selling products. He was just selling books, and pretty dinky looking books if you go by what I was publishing, just paperbacks and down from the barrel they were almost scratched and all that. Well, let me see. My brother, before he passed away, gave me this book. So a collection of recipes and other things. You can notice he wrote a note to me on there. So I was looking at it and I said, is there something in here that's funny for me to share with you? And there is. A vacation is what you need after you just had one. Uh, uh, like this one also. Love your enemies. They never borrow anything. And let me see if I can find one other thing here. Uh, Old age is not for sissies. We've heard that one before, haven't we? Okay, so that's the jokes for today. I hope you've enjoyed listening. Maybe you got something out of the vitamin section. I hope so. Um, one day I'll play you a song on my Get Fiddles. I gotta get new strings, get it tuned up, get them both tuned up, and then I'll write some songs for y'all. How about that? And again, that guitar, in case you're watching Chuck Bear or Sherry Bear, that's your guitar you made me. Okay. Show you something else too that Chuck made me. Take a look at that cigar uh, cabinet. That that holds Cuban cigars. We uh, we had special connections where we got Cuban cigars. Although I also like just as well Nicaraguan cigars. Having said that, I haven't had a cigar for 7 years. I'll tell you why. Because my doctor told me I had started it with bronchitis, then chronic bronchitis, then COPD, and then emphysema. Literally, I was looking on the computer to see how many months I had to live. And Another doctor tested me in the same hospital. He looked at the results, didn't have any of those things. So, get more than one opinion's the answer to that question. If I was to ask it, I'll say this: how many opinions should you get? Well, I was sitting by a doctor once. We were in the courtroom. I didn't do anything bad, but um, this lady that was a doctor was going to um, possibly get custody of a child that had been abused. And I happened to have been seeing the mother that allowed the abuse to go on. So we were talking. I said I don't like lawyers or doctors, either one. I don't. I just don't. At this time in my life, I don't. I don't. I don't want to have to see either one. And I was having to see attorneys because I worked in the field of mental health and alcohol and drugs. And I was having to see doctors too to get lab results if they had tested positive for drugs. And she said, I don't either because they almost killed me. I said, what do you mean? She says, I'm a doctor myself. She said, the first doctors, I knew there was something wrong with me. The first doctor ran tests, said, you're good to go. Well, she thought, well, I'll get a second opinion. You've heard of second opinions. Nothing wrong with you. Doctor said nothing wrong with you. Well, how many times have you heard of someone asking for a third opinion? She asked for a third opinion. And she said, who's the person I admire most when I went to medical school? See, she was a doctor also. So I'm telling a doctor I don't care for doctors uh, unless I'm really sick. So she said she knew something was wrong with her. So she said there was one guy in her medical classes that was way above all the others as far as her perception. She called him up, went there, and was being eaten up by cancer. She was saved. They removed the cancer in time. Okay, if you like this, if you like my style, if you want to. Now, not many people want to do this because I only have about 129 subscribers, maybe 139 and counting. Got one the other day. Got a new subscriber the other day. Thank you if you're listening. So, if you like it, feel free to put like. If you want to leave some comments, feel free to leave comments. You'll notice this is a free flowing deal here that I operate. I'm on a different. I got away from the chair because last night when I played it back, I thought I need to delete it, but I didn't because a few people did look at it, and it was somewhat informative. Where I'm sitting here is 3 feet away from where I usually sit. I want to get a studio sometime, I think. Put books behind it. Look like I'm kind of intellectual person. Okay, now, if you want to know anything about me, feel free to ask. Um, and I will try to answer within 24 hours. I'm running on time right now. Take care. God bless.